since you get to see a lot of different companies and a lot of different industries, do you potentially have an idea for a business that is promising, but because you don't have time or the passion to pursue it, you're not pursuing it? Or is there an industry that is just ripe for disruption right now?
Yeah, so every once in a while I'll have one of these ideas. I can say the most recent one, which I've had for a couple of months now, and if anyone does it, give me a call and I'll give you, happy to chat you through it and go for it, and I'll support you, and I'm happy you're doing it, and I'll give you all the stuff I've thought about. But basically what I realized is when COVID started, March 2020, I realized how quickly kids adapted to this whole, communication via Zoom and screens, etc. It took adults a little bit longer to sort of do that as a full-time thing. And I realized that there's probably an opportunity to have, I don't want to call it, mental health or psychologist, but maybe a coach for the age group, of people, younger kids, maybe, 8 to 15, something where, today for them to get access would require their parents taking them to a specific location to speak to a professional, waiting an hour. Like it's a whole story. And I imagine that there's probably, a lot of kids today who could do with having a third-party objective person, a professional to speak to, but the access is not entirely there. And as opposed to some of the giants in this space, like Talkspace, who are there for, similar, but for adults, where it's really about facilitating introductions to the right person, I believe that for that age group, the company would really need to build the right set of tools for the professional to help the client, the child, in order to communicate their feelings and emotions that would then enable this ecosystem to live. And then because it's living in an entirely digital system, right? You're communicating over Zoom. I think there's a ton of analytics that could be done, right? Understanding children in similar geographies, how they're reacting, are things happening similarly? Kids at certain ages and certain weather, do they wake up and go to sleep at the same time? How do they behave? And finding like all of these patterns that are happening between all these customers, and being able to be helpful, not just on a one-on-one basis, but taking the data layer that you're collecting and really create a deep understanding from a whole different level, and provide analytics to the professionals that can help them to do their job better.
I think that's so interesting. I know that teachers had a hard time on Zoom. No one was trained to teach children on Zoom. And I have a friend who actually tutors teachers on how to be better teachers during the time of the pandemic, because what teachers were saying was, hey, child, in your safe space, your room, where that's your haven, that's where you can escape from the world, you now have to have your camera on permanently. And I, a teacher who is, not your friend, is going to be always watching you and monitoring you. And I know that that was very challenging and difficult for kids.
Yeah. So I think that there's a world of, services to be provided to kids using digital platforms.
That's very exciting. Thank you for putting that idea out there and giving someone the opportunity to go for that and perhaps even potentially speak to you.